Okay, so last objective here in section 5.6, talking about finding a z-score from a probability. Okay, so again, I call this working backwards. So you're going to be given a probability or an area, and your job is to find the z-score, the spot on the x-axis that corresponds to that area. So for example here, we're going to find the 90th percentile of the standard normal distribution. Remember that if I'm at the 90th percentile, that means that 90% of the data is less than me. So I am looking for the probability that some z-score is less than some number, and this probability is going to equal 0.90, 90%. So I'm trying to find this z value, okay, so that the area less than it is 0.90. So again, let's just quickly label the standard normal distribution. Right? 0, 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3. So let's recall that, first of all, to the left of 0, this area is going to be 0.5. So this area right here is 0.5. Then if we add this area here, we're adding half of 0.68. That's 0.34. So far in my shaded area here, this is going to be 0.5 plus 0.34, that is 0.84. So everything to the left of 1 is 0.84. So I'm going to go a little bit more, say I'm somewhere in here, I don't know. I need to find this z, I'll make it a different color. I need to find this z value because I believe that this area all the way to the left of this value, that is potentially roughly 0.90. Okay, so it's going to be some sort of a z value between 1 and 2. Okay, that's my expectation. So how do I do this on the stats applet? Well, let me show you. So when we go to the probability stats applet, we're going to still choose probability. We're going to still choose our normal distribution, begin analysis. Now, notice your operation. Instead of calculating an area, now we're going to calculate a value. And notice it says left tail. This is very important. The left tail means the left side, which means you have to use a less than symbol. Now, I think I have an example of this, but if you don't, you have to flip that symbol around. And the key is to understand that your area under the curve is equal to 1. Keep that in mind as we go through. But I think we're in business because ours is a left tail, right? Okay, right. Ours is probability of a z being less than some number is 0.90. So now, once I have selected calculate a value, again, still enter your mean, 0, standard deviation, 1. And now calculate the value for the left tail area of, and now we put 0.90 in that box. And look what I found. I found a z value of 1.282. That is the z corresponding, to the 90th percentile, 1.282. And that's what you're looking for. Okay. All right. So again, if you remember our picture, I had put the bar, I put the z somewhere here. That's the z we're looking for. And again, this area is 0.90. All right, so let's see if we can do a couple problems involving this idea. Let me erase this. Hopefully this goes away. It's not going away. Hopefully it does when I... There we go. Okay, so 5, 6. All right, let's present and let's go to the next slide and see what our problems have in store for us. Okay, example 2, it says, how do you convert probabilities to z-scores in a standard normal distribution? Use the probability stats applet to find the value of z, for which the probability of z greater than some value is 0.20. Draw a standard normal distribution with the area of interest. Okay, so again, let me draw this up a little bit. Okay, we'll label our x-axis here 0. 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3. So notice here the greater than symbol. So I will use this and we'll talk about this, right? So I'm going to find the probability of z being greater than some z value is 0.20. So again, if you draw here, so that is half or zero point 0.5. If you draw here, this is 0.34. Okay, just this area. So if you actually subtract those two, zero point 0.5 minus 0.34, that's 0.16. So this right here is 0.16. So we need a little bit more. So I'm going to kind of just do a sliver here. I think this is the Z I'm looking for. Because right here, if I add this little sliver along to 0.16, I believe that that's 0.20. And again, greater than means to the right. Okay. However, we cannot do that in the probability stats applet. It only does the left tail. So what do we just throw our hands in the air and say we can't do it? No, we can actually calculate what the left tail area is. And I'll do it in, let's do it in light blue. Because if this is 0.20, we should know that the total area is 1. So if we do 1 minus 0.20, we're going to get the left tail area of 0.8. This area here that I'm shading in light blue is 0.80. And it just so happens that the same Z that shows an area greater of 0.20 also shows an area less of 0.80. And that's what we can do. We can transform this problem into find the probability that z is less than some value, and it's going to equal 0.80. And this value here is the same as this value here. So I hope that makes sense to you in terms of 0.80 to the left, 0.20 to the right. And again, it's this idea that the area equals 1. But we need the left tail. And now we can take this idea and go to our probability stats applet. Probability, normal distribution, calculate a value for a corresponding left tail area. Mean is 0, standard deviation is 1. There it is. And again, I am looking for the probability that z is greater than some value, and that equals 0.20. But we can't do that because that's the right tail. So now I'm looking for the probability that z is less than some value and is equal to 0.80. That is the left tail. That's what I can type in right here, 0.80. And I get a z value of 0.842. That is the z I'm looking for, 0.842. Again, it is the same z that corresponds to the area less than it of 0.80. And it's the exact same z where the area to the right of it is 0.20. Okay, so again, this is that whole right tail, left tail understanding. Hopefully that makes sense to you. All right, great. So best of luck today on the homework. This is a very important homework section. So if you don't understand this, you need to ask for help. You need to. Okay? All right, great.